Okay, so we are starting a new series, and it is going to be called Uncorked and Informed, and it's just going to be us hanging out together and talking all things real estate. So I am going to start with this first. Make sure this is live. I think it is. Yes, it is. Okay. And I took some notes so that I can give you guys some really good educational pieces to help you stay informed. But this is our new little series that we're going to talk about. It is going to be a 6-week series. And tonight specifically, I am talking about CMAs and what they actually are. And then we're going to dive into new topics each week. So grab your glass of wine. Tell me tonight, are you drinking red or are you drinking white? I want to know. We are having a Cab Sauvignon tonight. So cheers to real estate and to peace and quiet in my house because everybody's doing other things and I'm here. So cheers. Okay, so if you see me looking over here, I have my notes. There are certain points I just want to make sure that I share with you. One thing I've realized as I've been diving into real estate is there are so many things that a lot of people are uneducated about and just don't know. And that's where I come into place. And if I don't know the answer, I will figure it out for you. But we're going to dive into CMAs. So tonight we're going to talk about CMA. I'm going to talk about what specifically it is and why they're important. So also, let's see, what else do I want to talk about? Okay, I think that was it. Okay, so a CMA is important and you really should be getting a CMA done on your property because it's something that can be very overwhelming to people when they don't even know what a CMA is. So we'll talk about that. It's a certified, not a certified market analysis. Comparative market analysis. You don't got to be real smart to do this, okay? But is a comparative market analysis, and basically what it is going to determine the home value using right now real recent sales, okay? It's not us guessing on any numbers. It's truly us using based on your like neighborhood and homes that have sold around you. And that's where these are. So it's the homes that are sold around you, active listings. So we tend to look at things that have been active around you. Right now, there's not a lot of inventory out. And so that is a little bit harder for us to give you a comparative market analysis, which is called a CMA. We're going to just call it a CMA from now on, but it's called a comparative market analysis. It's comparing your home to other ones around you. And that's how we kind of get the price of what we suggest you should list your home for. We're going to talk about buying and selling with this comparative market analysis because it's important for both buying and selling. But we're starting with just kind of what it is and breaking that down for you. We're going to look at pending sales and we're going to also look at local trends. So I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, but like when you go on a neighborhood and you look at sales, you see that like maybe the exact same house sold for a different price that this exact house over here sold for. There's a reason and we'll talk about it in just a minute. But so one thing is that if you're looking on like Zillow or you're looking online or something, those are estimates that are just giving a number. The CMA gives you context, okay? And that's really, really important to understand of why you need the context of a property, okay? So I told you we're going to dive into sellers and we're going to dive into the buyers part of it and why it matters for a buyer and a seller. So for a seller, why a CMA is really important is because you're pricing it right from the start. You're not overpricing it and then having to drop the price. You're not guessing like, is it too much? And honestly, a lot of these things really do make a difference. And that's why you want a professional like myself to be able to guide you in this part of it and your purchasing and your selling of your home. Because you want to avoid two things in that part is you want to avoid it sitting on the market for a really long time. It just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good to people that are watching, that are seeing it. And they're like, well, why is it on the market so long? Like, why is it so long? And we also want to maximize the value, of the home. Okay. So pricing it right from the start is a very important thing rather than people think that let's just really overprice it. We can drop it. That doesn't always look good. Okay. So that's why a CMA is important. For sellers, I'm going to recap. It's pricing it right from the start, like we talked about. avoiding it sitting on the market for too long, and also getting the maximum value, which we all want right now. So that's for the seller part of the CMA. The CMA for a buyer is that you know what to offer somebody. So it's important because then you know what should I be offering. You avoid overpaying on a property, and you also compete with confidence. So right now we're kind of getting into a spring market where there is going to be a lot of competition and a lot of people that are going to overbid, and they're going to win the sale of the home because they're getting the property for what they feel is right, but also the sellers are getting the right price for the property too. So we're going to recap the buyers part of it. The buyers, why CMA matters for the buyers is because you know what to offer. You avoid overpaying for a property, which nobody ever wants to do, right? You don't want to be screwed out of a property and have it be overpriced. And then you compete with confidence. So me as your advisor, I would go into a situation completely confident and being able to give an offer that is confident and competitive based off of a CMA, right? So let's take a sip of our wine. Again, if you're drinking a red or a wine, drop it below so that I know what you're drinking. Welcome to my new series called Uncorked and Informed. We're going to be doing a 6-week series about real estate, and we're going to be talking all things real estate. So cheers if you're new here. I do have the Timberwolves on the background because they're playing. Okay, now that we've covered a little bit about that and why it matters and why it's important for buyers and sellers, let's dive into the most common myth. This is my favorite. So just because your neighbor's home sold for X doesn't mean your home is worth the same. Okay, and here is why. The conditions, the updates, the layout, and the timing are all factors that play into a home getting priced for the certain price point, whatever that is. I feel like I have something in my eyeball. So again, like I said in the beginning, have you ever seen on the same block, the same street, total two different prices? A lot of that comes down to the fact of the condition of the home. It is about the timing of the listing of the home, the layout of the home. Are there any updates? Is there new things done? And in our series, we're going to dive more into what should you spend your money on when you're updating your home before you're listing it. What are some things that you should prepare for as you are getting ready to buy and sell? So as we do this next 6-week series, we'll dive more into more topics. And if you guys have topics that you want me to cover, you can absolutely drop those below too. But we're going to dive more into that too. So, okay, hopefully this is all making sense. Drop a wine emoji if this is making sense, or if you're liking this informative content, if this is something that you're like, heck yes, I'm learning so much. I didn't even know what a CMA was. Everybody keeps talking about it. If you're just tuning in, it's called a Comparative Market Analysis, and it is what we do as advisors, as professionals, confidently when we're getting ready to list your home or when you're getting ready to buy a home, is we run an analysis on your home based on properties that have sold, that are listed in your neighborhood. Okay, so that's what a CMA is, and they're very, very important. Okay, so if you've ever been thinking about buying or selling this year, which a lot of people are, I'm always happy to run a CMA for you. It's absolutely free. There's no obligations. It's literally just me doing the back end of the work, which it does take a little bit of time because I want to make sure I'm giving you a fair amount of what you should be listing your home for, or honestly what you should be buying your home for. Because if I'm helping you buy a home, I want to make sure that you're not overpriced on your offer, like we talked about. That makes a difference for buyers. Okay, so a couple more things we're going to talk about is in these series. I kind of jotted down a few ideas that I think would be really beneficial, but I want you guys as people who are watching this to give me your input. So I need some interactiveness right here on this part. So next week we were going to talk about multiple offers, or we are going to talk about what actually adds value, to updating your home if you're getting ready to sell it. Or I was thinking about doing pre-approved versus pre-qualified. So if you guys have a suggestion on what our topic could be, and if it's maybe not even any of that next week, if it's something completely different, we can totally do that. This series is honestly totally educated, or the whole purpose of this is to educate you on buying or selling. A lot of people have never even done a comparative market analysis on their home, or maybe their agent hasn't even done it for them, when they're looking at home properties. And you guys, honestly, you want that to be done because you want to make sure that you are not overpaying on a property. You want to also make sure that you're, Natalie, yes. Are you having a beverage tonight? If it's wine, is it red or white? I want you guys to tell me, because we're going to do this Uncorked and Informed series. And I mean, if you don't drink, that's cool too. Grab a water. Tell me what you're drinking tonight, because I decided to grab a little glass of wine. So those are kind of the topics. That's kind of what we're thinking. If you would like me to run a market analysis on your property, just drop the words CMA below here, or private message me, DM me Uncorked, and I will make sure that I get you guys your address, your information. And honestly, a couple things with like this piece of it is, I'm gonna put this back here because I do not want to knock it off my table. That would be bad. A couple things with a comparative market analysis. I, as your professional real estate advisor, I will be running this for you. I give you a very beautiful sheet, and I actually give you a whole pamphlet, if I'm being honest. I don't have it with me right now. It's in my office and I'm not going to get up and show you, but it's very, very put together, and it has your home on it. It's specifically to you and your property. And it's something that gives you just that little bit of extra peace of mind, knowing that you're going into offering a property and putting an offer in, that you're having me as your professional run that data before we put that offer in. Again, we talked about this before, but if you're just hopping on, I'm going to go up to my notes so don't forget. The reason that it's important for buyers is because also it's going to avoid you overpaying for a property, but it's also going to know exactly what to offer based on me and the numbers that I've ran on that specific property that you are looking at, okay? And then again, for sellers, it's really important because a house, it doesn't look good when it's sitting on the market for a really long time. It doesn't look good. And so we want to make sure that we're pricing it right from the beginning so that we don't have to all of a sudden do this like drastic price improvement on a property that also doesn't look super great if we're like, oh, another price improvement. Sometimes there's reasons and there's points that we do need to do that. But if we could do a CMA on your property, I'm confident in my ability that I know that when we list your home, it will be listed at the proper price, but also to get you the most value. We want to maximize the value on your home so that on your next home purchase, you're going into it with that cushion of whatever you got from the property sale, right? So that's a little bit about it. I would really like to know from you guys the next week when I do this. Natalie, I'm hoping to continue to do this on Monday evenings right around 8 o'clock. That's kind of my plan, is to do Monday evenings at 8 o'clock, pending on life. But I'm also going to be popping over to YouTube, and I'm going to be starting to do more long form content there as well, educating you guys on more things like this for people who are buying and people who are selling. I just feel like there's a gap that's missing of real life people like myself, who's very educated, very confident in the real estate realm, lots to learn always. But I know that as your advisor, I know that I would do a very good job negotiating, but also taking care of you first and foremost and your family. And so I wanted to start educating more people, and so I will be popping over to YouTube. So this will probably be over on YouTube as well. It might look a little bit different just because of the way that we need to edit over there, but I want to make this series able for you guys to go back and watch, and so that's kind of why I'm hoping to pop over on YouTube as well. That's new for me, but I'm going to try it. So next week, 8 p.m., grab a glass of wine or water or lemonade or soda or nothing, a snack, whatever you want, 8 p.m. And it's going to be Uncorked and Informed series. Freaking love the name. I'm like, it's just such a cute name. And we're either going to talk about multiple offers, what actually adds value to a home if you're going to be selling, or pre-qualified versus pre-approved, and what the difference between that is. You know, honestly, I'm thinking out loud here. We could even get a lender on here with me and we could talk about what that looks like. There's so many things that we can talk about and educate you on. So if there is something that you guys would like to hear more about, or you're like, I really don't know a lot about this, just send me a message and say, can we dive more into this topic? Because this is for you. This is for people who are in the real estate that are looking to buy or sell, but just maybe need a little bit more extra confidence. But again, a CMA is completely free. I do not charge anything for it. I, as your real estate advisor, will put together that. I'll put the time and effort into it, present it to you, and truly give you what I feel your property is worth, or the property that you're looking to buy is worth as well. So just some little things I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed my series, my first episode of Uncorked and Informed. I am really, really excited to do this. It's going to be 6 weeks. I just realized that we're going to need to pivot a little bit on President's Day weekend because I'm actually out of town. So we're going to figure it out. But I'll make sure that I update you guys when this will be. It's something I'm really passionate about. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you learned something new from this. If you've never had a CMA done on your property, why not? Send me a message with your address. It's free of charge. See what your house is worth. It's your biggest piece of investment. My broker has always said this, and I've heard him say it so many times. We check our bank statement all the time, right? We're always checking our bank statement to see what we have in our bank accounts. But we never, chances are, tell me if I'm wrong, have ever actually had a professional like myself tell you what your home is worth. Like actual numbers, not a Zillow estimate. Those are just guesses. A CMA is actual facts and context of a property. And that's your biggest investment. And if you're not finding out what your property is worth and it's your biggest investment, you should be, because it's your biggest investment. And it's important to know, what is it worth? What could you get for it? And if you never have had it done, I could do it for you for free. I would love to. As your real estate advisor,